Have you guys ever woke up in the middle of the night and just thought to yourself, I need to know how to connect speakers to a receiver? Because I know I have. Hi, my name is Kevin McKee, and I'm here to teach you how to do exactly that. Let's turn that dream into reality, folks, okay? So, let's get started on that. First thing you need to do whenever you're trying to connect your receiver to some speakers, or vice versa, if you will, make sure you have all the necessary components and they're readily available. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go ahead and count that off. Got my speakers, obviously two gorgeous Bowers Wilkins speakers. Fantastic. I also have a receiver. I also have a speaker splicing tool. We'll get to that later. I have some speaker wire to go from my speakers to my receiver. We'll get to that in a second. And I also have a measuring tape. We'll get to that in 1 second as well. Let's go ahead and move over here real quick. Before we get started, let's make sure that we can actually see everything. So let's go ahead and turn the receiver around real fast. So, this is the back of the receiver. This is where we're going to go ahead and take our speaker wire and we're going to connect it from the receiver to the speakers. So, you guys take out the little handouts I passed around real quick. You'll see that on the picture of the back of the receiver, you'll see a section that says front left and front right speakers. Those little red and black things are called speaker binding posts, which is the picture on the bottom. Okay? So now that we've already identified those two things, that's exactly what we're going to use them for. We're going to use them for our left and right speaker. So, the next step is how do we prepare our speaker wire? Important part here. So, the way we do that, we get our measuring tape. We dictate how far our receiver is going to be from our speakers. So, just as a quick little measurement guide, go ahead and turn these bad boys around. Oh, break it. I'm going to go and do that right there. So now we can see the back of it. Take your measuring tape. Beautiful. I know, right? Goes about $8. You can find it around $8 at Home Depot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just measure it from where those binding posts are where the speakers are. About 2.5 feet. You give a little extra slack if you will. Do the same thing in the opposite one. About 1.5 feet. So now we know how much length we need. So now that we know that, we're going to go ahead and take our speaker wire splicing tool. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to splice this in the wire. How awesome is that, right? I know. Calm down, guys. It's going to be great. So, with our speaker wire, we're going to take that same measurement, about 2.5 feet, by about 1.5 feet, and we're going to use our speaker wire splicing tool to cut that out. Now, I already went ahead and done that because you guys are trying to get out of here. I know I'm trying to save some time. So, some of these steps have already been pre-performed off camera. Pretty great, right? So, here, we're going to examine our speaker wire. Just going to tangle up. Speaker wire, tips. You'll notice that the tips are actually copper wire. The copper wire is showing. So what I've done is I've used the speaker wire splicing tool, and I've actually spliced off about 1/2 inch from each tip so that the copper wire is visible. This is a really important part. This is the piece that's going to be touching your speakers to create the sound. So you definitely need that. Now you might be asking yourself, what in the crazy world do the colors mean? I know, right? It's crazy. So, what I'm explaining to you. The black means negative. The red means positive. Some other speaker wire might insinuate this by having positive symbols to mean positive. Good job, guys. Yeah, yes. And the black to mean negative. So, now that we've identified that, and in case you get kind of lost, remember that visual aid I passed out. You guys can keep up with me there. So, how are we doing so far? You doing all right? Cool. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and match these bad boys up. So, I have a speaker wire. I have a negative. I have a positive. Choose either speaker first. So, for instance, I'm going to choose my front left speaker. And now what I'm going to go ahead is I'm going to unscrew these little binding posts. They just come right off. Remember, positive to positive, negative to negative, red to red, black to black. So here we go. This is the fun part. Now we're screwing some stuff right out. Here we go. All right. Get in there. There you go. Now you guys may have been on the website, or the World Wide Web, if you will, trying to learn how to do this. And you'll find a lot of websites like eHow or How Stuff Works or ADS1, and they'll explain the same thing. They might have some extra steps though, as far as having increased sound quality and all those sorts of good stuff. But for right now, if you go and Google those websites, that's where a lot of my information. It's a good reference to go look at. It'll be fun. So here we go. Got that guy on there, front left.
You're at 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Got that bad boy on there. Alright. So now we've completed the left speaker. We're going to go ahead and do the right. Alright, here we go. I'm under the pressure now. As fast as I can unscrew it.
5.5.
Here we go. It's like a minority portion of the ball. Alright, it's in there somewhat.
18 seconds.
And I'm not going to make it, but I'm still good. We are done. We are now a home theater guru. Please leave your money at the door. We are seeing.